kidding me? Great to see you.
Thanks for inviting me on your morning run.
I'm so psyched.
What
Thank
a
you.
perfect day for
Yes,
it.
great. Let's go.
So you are a pretty daily runner?
I have a streak going now. Next week, I'll break through the 500 days in a row of running.
Oh, so
Yes.
you run cold, rain, sleet. You're like the postal service.
I have run on days that used to be this sense of triumph. How long could I keep this streak going?
And what made you start running?
I started, I guess, now almost 2 years ago, with this frustration about the political dialogue and the tension growing in our country. I think we're suffering from a second connection. And I realized that maybe I can do something for myself and be an example, live my truth as possible, because so much of our well-being is connected to our daily habits, our ability to connect. And
Thing for you as well as physical.
it is definitely a mental health thing for me. It's helped me not only improve my own health, but also my overall sense of well-being, sense of personal triumph. It bleeds into other areas of my life. And stunning for Americans. They're particularly stunning for Black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
We have, Black men have, next to Native American men, the lowest life expectancy in America. Mm-hmm. And I'm now in my 50s and seeing so many Black men start to die or be debilitated. I fight for policy, fight for legislation, but I think the larger fight for our country now is to return to a sense of connection, well-being, and I think our current political culture is toxic, believe in, but I decided to turn my social media accounts over significantly to things I know that are a little above politics and speak to our common humanity and what I think are some of the larger causes of our country, which is be losing in so many ways that sense of common cause, that sense of connection, whereas my hero John Lewis says that sense of a beloved community.
God,
You rock.
I can't believe I reached your
So I want to feature you on a Cory story.
I'm so
and as an inspiring person to me, and I'm sure to so many other people.
Thank you.
So I'm wondering
Same to you.
if you have an inspiring story or a quote or something that you can inspire folks with.
So I a lot about advice my mother has given me. The piece of advice she gave me the night before my first briefing at the White House was this: feet grounded on the ground and keep your spine stiff, and nothing can blow you away. And of course, it's physical, but it's also spiritual.
Yes.
Because what it means is stay true to who you are and your own values and who you know you are, and don't let external forces try to blow you over.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, Senator Booker.
How are
Good
you?
to see you again.
Look at us all clean.
We've
showered.
cleaned up since our run this morning. Your parents were among the first Black executives at IBM and very important people in your life. What is the biggest lesson you learned from them?
I think James Baldwin's right, that children are never good at listening to their elders, but they never fail to imitate them. Mm-hmm. And so they're just really good people who made me and my brother feel, as we were growing up, the ridiculous blessings we had. Number one, to be the 4% of humanity to call yourself an American. But importantly, especially as a Black American, how blessed we were to get to where we were, and how much of a debt my brother and I owed, because we could never pay it back.
Now, one of the areas you've been pretty passionate about is your role on the Agriculture Committee, which would surprises many people who, well, this guy was the mayor of Newark. He's a vegan.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about why that's an area of passion for you and what issues that hit that committee impact them.
Every issue I think Americans care about intersects with our food. Food is the source of life. And a system that has become so corrupted by these large multinational corporations who don't care about independent family farmers, who don't care about the quality or health of our foods, who don't care about the longevity of the human species because we way overuse antibiotics. We have a system that drives down the cost of the Happy Meal, that doesn't make us ultimately long-term happy in terms of our health. We are a nation that was formed because we believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can't have any of those unless your system is vital and fresh and healthy.
You have a friendship with Senator Tim Scott.
Yeah, Tim Scott, Dan Sullivan, I can go through a lot of Republicans that I've formed legitimately good friendships here. And that's the way you get things done, is not by vilifying or demonizing people you disagree with, but finding chords of common humanity.
What should people with potential aspiration know about him?
I think that as I look at this Republican field, he may be one of those people that is underestimated.
In 2016 and 2020, you talked a lot about how you can't fight hate with hate in regards to Donald Trump. You even said many times, do you still feel that way about him?
Well, the core of my spirituality comes from the simple idea: love your neighbor, love those who hate you. Mm-hmm. Never let somebody pull you low as you to make you hate them. I voted to impeach the guy twice. I think he has committed crimes, anything that he's done. But how do you fight that? Well, history to me teaches very well. How did we fight in our country Bull Connor? Did Mr. King bring bigger dogs and bigger fire hoses? Or did he find a way, when these elements of hate and find a way to change the frequency? Because King said it right, that the problem today is not the vitriolic words and violent actions of the bad people only. It's the appalling violence and inaction of the good people.
You've run for president once.
Yes.
You've now been in the Senate for a while.
Yes.
Are you a Senate lifer to pass this?
I have found that the best way to make God laugh is to make plans for yourself.
Yeah, fair enough.
I love the job. Thank you, New Jersey, and will most likely run for re in 26. But we'll see what the future hopes. I ran for president for a purpose, and to see a more common purpose and common cause. And if that is still something in future presidential elections, I'll think about it again. But every day is, as you know, and nothing tomorrow is promised. So I'm just really excited that I'm in a job that today I could do something to make a difference in the life of other people.
South Carolina Senator Tim Scott officially jumping into the 2024 presidential race.
We live in the land where it is absolutely possible for a kid raised in poverty, in a single-parent household, in a small apartment, to one day serve in the People's House, and maybe even the White House.
The only black Republican in the Senate, Scott emphasizing his personal story.
I'm living proof that America is the land of opportunity and not a land of oppression.
Scott pitching himself to Republican voters as a formidable challenger to President Joe Biden.
Our nation, our values, and our people are strong, but our president is weak.
And appealing directly to the GOP base on border security.
If our southern border is unsafe and insecure, it's not our country.
End over culture wars.
I will be the president who destroys the liberal lie that America is an evil country.
Among those introducing Scott, John Thune, the Senate's #2 Republican, who is backing Scott's bid.
Tim Scott is the real deal.
Scott joins a growing field of GOP hopefuls.
That's why I'm the candidate the far left fears the most. I disrupt their narrative. I threaten their control. The truth of my life disrupts their lives.
Including former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, who appointed Scott to the Senate in 2012, and former President Donald Trump, who congratulated Scott, writing, "Tim is a big step up from Ron DeSanctimonious, who is totally unelectable," choosing instead to go after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who is expected to announce his bid in the coming days.
Our party and our nation are standing at a time for choosing.
Scott striking a more optimistic message, setting up a contrast with Trump and DeSantis.
Victimhood or victory? Grievance or greatness? I choose freedom and hope and opportunity. Will you choose it with me?